This episode of One Hit Thunder is brought to you by DistroKid.
AI isn't coming. It's already transforming marketing and business. See how at MACON 2025, October 14th through 16th in Cleveland. Evergreen Podcasts is proud to be the official podcast partner, recording live on-site and meeting with more than 1,500 marketing leaders. You'll learn from leaders at Google Cloud, Meta, Snowflake, and HeyGen, sharing what's working and what isn't. Transformation starts here. And with our special code, PODS200, you'll save $200 off your ticket. Join us at the Huntington Convention Center. Register today at macon.ai. That's MAICON.ai.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
Whether you were rocking out to it in 2002 or watching Terry Crews sing every word to it a few years later, Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles is a song that can stir up a lot of feelings and emotions for those who lived it. Even though the song's earnest delivery and theater kid presentation should make it an artifact from the turn of the century, there's something special about it that keeps it relevant decades later. This week, we're joined by return guest Eric Taft to dive into the career and back catalog of Vanessa Carlton to decide if we should make our way downtown to pick up all her records or run 1,000 miles away from her music.
One hit is all you need to make the money guaranteed, and you can live off royalties forever. And it makes me wonder, is it just a wonder, or is it one hit thunder?
So Eric, welcome back to the show. I feel like you've been in my life a lot in the last couple weeks. We saw each other. We were up front, real close for Jimmy Eat World and Blink-182 right next to each other. And then your name came up in a recent episode of Krista Makes a Podcast for your mixing abilities. Just in general, I welcome your resurgence back into my life in the last couple of weeks. And now you're here on One Hit Thunder to talk about Vanessa Carlton.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here on the pod. I'm glad to be in your life. I saw Matt, I saw you at Forecourt as well. It was awesome, man. I just feel like the times you get to see the people that like are kind of in the peripheral of your little scene in your life, it's like the times you get to see those people, or it's always good. I feel that way every time I get to see you, man.
Well, we always, Eric, you and I, every time we talk, it dives into this conversation of the weird way our worlds collided in different ways. So, Chris, I don't know the storyline of how you met Eric, but I assume it was through music. For me, when I was a freshman or sophomore in college, I was on Reddit a bunch, and someone posted a video of them and their roommate doing a pop punk cover of All Star by Smash Mouth. And I was like, this is better than the Smash Mouth song. So I tracked down one of the dudes just to be like, yo, that song ripped, and it was Eric.
Wow,
and we've been
okay.
Facebook friends for years, but we never actually met or spoke until you and I started doing One Hit Thunder like
Totally.
20 years later.
Yeah, and then you and I connected through Chris and doing, I think it was maybe that first episode of One Hit Thunder where I was doing, was it Save Ferris?
I think so, yeah.
Or you and I had talked maybe before that, but it was just like, oh yeah, that's how I know you, like through those YouTube covers. Yeah, it's so funny.
It's
what's
good.
hilarious is the first cover that me and my roommate Matt ever did was of 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton.
Wow.
And I just watched our cover of it, and it's 15 years old. We recorded it July of 2010, and we're in my basement at my parents' old house. And I don't know, this song has a special place in my heart for many reasons. I actually ran into someone at Four Chord and was like, dude, my band covers that song, but we cover your version because the one that you and Matt did is the best one. And I'm like, that's crazy to me.
Nice.
So I felt obligated to pick this as the tune because it just seems like it's been coming up a lot.
It's like we're falling into the sky. Do you think time could pass me by? I know I walk 1,000 miles, but I could just say tonight.
I don't know. Well, apparently, at least Eric, and I bet Matt too, had this sort of experience with this song. Now, I remember vividly hearing this song for the first time. I was working at a place where a couple people listening, a couple past guests will know what I'm talking about when I say I was working at DVX. And it was nighttime, and I had just heard this song, and I remember putting it on, and it was one of those songs I just listened to on repeat. Probably 20 times in a row. I just couldn't get enough of this song, both musically and lyrically. It hit me so hard, and I'm sure a lot of people had that same experience.
I want to start at this point, actually, because of all the stuff that I researched, I think the actual writing of this song is so fascinating that I want to start there, and then we can go into the life and career of Vanessa Carlton. But Vanessa Carlton started working on this song in 1998, and it was that she was at her parents' house in Philadelphia, and she played the riff, and her mom, who was a pianist and music teacher, overheard her and yelled, "Vanessa, that's a hit." Yeah. But she had writer's block, and she just kind of had this piano riff and nothing else. And when she was shopping around songs for a record label, she played that riff for the producer, and he demanded that she finish the song. So she forced herself to sit down, and she pulled inspiration from when she was at the School of American Ballet. She shared a class with a Juilliard student who she said is now a very famous actor who I won't name, but she had an immediate crush on him despite never talking to him. And this song was written about what she wished she could say to this actor. But at the time when she finished it, she just called
Howerton.
Has to be. When she finished the song, she called it Interlude. And there was a huge argument between her and the record label because the quote that I got was from the producer who said, "Vanessa Carlton is an extremely talented and very stubborn artist." And I said to her, "I'm the president of this label. We are not releasing your first single under the name Interlude. We're trying to launch a career here, and people need to pick up things from the start. And the word interlude is not going to be what people cling on to with this song." In fact, the debate was going so heavy that the first form of the song appeared in the movie Legally Blonde, and in the credits, it's listed as 1,000 Miles parentheses interlude because they were still having a fight about what the song title was going to be.
That's interesting.
But I love that story because, like you said, Chris, everybody who hears this piano riff is immediately like, your head perks up. You're like, what is that? What is that beautiful piece of music that I'm hearing right now?
Right. It is interesting. You guys said Glenn Howerton. Now, people did research into who else it could possibly be. And she did say actor. Actor could be male or female because later on, Vanessa Carlton did come out as bisexual, so it could. Yeah. I was thinking like it could be a man or a woman, but usually when someone says actor, they do mean male, even though that can apply to male or female. But the other people it could have possibly been Wes Bentley. If you guys know who that is.
I don't know. I don't think I know who Wes Bentley is.
I don't think I do either, actually.
He's like if you look him up, you could see some stuff he's been in. Maybe you'd recognize him. A couple other ones. Christian Camargo, David Conrad, Alan Tudyk. I don't know who any of those guys are. Wes Bentley.
Alan Tudyk was in A Knight's Tale. He's it's called a lance. Hello. It's that guy.
You definitely know Alan Tudyk.
Yeah,
he's in Dodgeball.
He's a voice actor. Oh yeah, he's Steve the Pirate in Dodgeball.
He's Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball.
Oh, dude, you know who Wes Bentley is? He's in American Beauty. Look up Wes Bentley.
Oh, he's the camera guy that's like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Got it.
Yeah, that guy. It could be him.
Was Idris Elba not one of them? I thought Idris Elba was maybe on the list, or maybe
really
not. Crazy.
Idris Elba's got to be older than.
I thought so too, but for some reason that was like, oh, Glenn Howerton, but maybe I'm tripping. Maybe that's just a wrong memory.
Vanessa Carlton is the same age as me. Idris Elba is definitely a good bit older than me.
Okay. Well.
There's this amazing thing that happens with artists these days. They're like, well, this song is about blah, 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 but I'm not going to say the name of who that is. Like, the internet isn't filled with obsessive humans that will do as much of a deep dive to narrow down who you could possibly be talking about in like minutes. Like,
yeah, of course.
Just like a couple quick Google searches of like who was in Juilliard between these years.
Yeah, right.
That's now a famous actor. I mean, that's
now a famous actor. Yeah, that succeeded.
Yeah.
I had no clue that Vanessa Carlton was a PA person. That was a pretty shocking discovery during the research of this.
Milford, PA? Do you guys know where Milford, PA is? I guess it's basically in the New York metropolitan area. She's like almost New York there.
Yeah.
No, I'm not hip. I don't know where
that makes a little bit more sense because I associate her with New York. Like when I think of Vanessa Carlton, when I was doing the research of like she moved to New York, went to Columbia University and worked in Hell's Kitchen, I'm like, that's what I imagined for Vanessa Carlton. I don't imagine. But then they said that her parents' house was in Philadelphia, so I guess eventually they reload. She was born up there, but maybe they moved to Philly and then she went kind of back up to New York after college. Seems like she was a crazy talented musician from the start. It said at the age of 2, she went to Disneyland, and then when she came home, she just started playing It's a Small World on the piano, and that's when her mom was like, oh, we need to start teaching this person, because clearly if you can just hear a song and sit down and play it on the piano, you got the gift.
Yeah.
2 is young.
2 is like, young.
2 is how old right now Steve's kid Leo is, who's, does impressive things and knows things, but like, I kind of can't imagine a kid that small sitting down and playing something on the piano.
By ear. No less. Yeah.
I'm always jealous of those stupid talented people. My mom always talks about how jealous she was of my uncle, who's like kind of a bit of a musical prodigy. He's one of those dudes who can play like 20 different instruments but can't read music, just like can pick up an instrument, know how to do it. And her story that she always told me was she was like going to piano classes, struggling to learn how the piano. My mom's a pretty good pianist, but she was really struggling as a kid. And then her and her brother, who was, I think she said 5 at the time, they were watching Looney Tunes. And it was one of the cartoons where Bugs Bunny is like playing a bunch of crazy stuff on the piano. And she said he just watched it, got up, sat down at the piano in their living room, and played exactly what Bugs Bunny had just done. And she was like, I'm over there like 9, just killing myself trying to figure out the piano. And then my 5-year-old brother surpasses me in an afternoon from watching Bugs Bunny. Wow. And like he became like the focus of the family, being like, all right, he's the one that we're going to start sending to the classes because he actually might have a skill in this. That's not me. I spent 10 years to learn how to play 4 chords on an acoustic guitar.
It sounds like Vanessa Carlton had a little bit of that energy. She was signed by Jimmy Iovine to A&M Records, and her debut album, Be Not Nobody, was released in 2002 on A&M. And Eric, you had texted me that you had some thoughts on the album as a whole. Now, I did the same thing as you and listened to the whole album this morning, and I'm interested in your thoughts on this album.
Well, okay, so I listened to the whole record yesterday, and then I watched the Vice special on the there's like a 22-minute short like mini documentary on like the background of the song, which I thought was really interesting. So my thoughts on when we could get into more of the record as a whole, I think this song is amazing. I think that Interlude, I guess, did it start? Was it instrumental before she like it was an interlude on a demo, or was it always had lyrics? But it was just
always had lyrics, and she just called it interlude.
That's a bad idea out the gate. If it's like what I was picturing was that like she had this like interlude. Boom, next song. Like I pictured that being like, okay, yeah, sure, that's an interlude, but there's something about that lick that like I don't know. But if she had lyrics all along and it was like a fully fleshed thing and she was just still calling it interlude.
Well, because the story that I heard was that she got signed to AMN and recorded an album that actually never got released. But the demo of her album that didn't get released made it to the president, Ron Fair.
Yeah, Ron Fair, who produced the record. So
and Ron Fair heard, and he said it was specifically 1,000 Miles. Like when he was listening to the demos that they had made for this album, he heard that song and was like, I'm gonna produce and arrange this myself.
I think so that record is called Rinse. Yeah, that they made, but like she was signed by Jimmy Iovine, then they were making the record and they were like not stoked with it at all. And I think that's what that's from. And it was like track 7. It was like deep on the record. And yeah, so in that Vice thing, Ron Fair's like, I kept replaying the song over and over and over again. And there's something very visceral about it. And the orchestral arrangement really sets it over the top. Like I think if the song didn't have the like I don't know. It has the lick at the front. The chorus is clearly very great. That pre just like sets it up.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those songs where I think that there's like 4 different distinctly catchy parts, right?
Sure.
Because we're talking about the piano part. The intro is super catchy. Like you said, the orchestral part is great. But then, I mean, even the opening of that chorus, like, if I could fall... Like, dude, like that, like I can understand why someone's listening to this and being like, we've got like 5 hooks in this song. How is this not something we're going to put to the front of the record and push the radio?
Well, and so what's interesting is like the rest of the record. Here's my gripe, right? I think this song is fucking great. I think it's there's no question as to why it's a smash. You've got the White Girls tie-in with the Terry Crews thing. I think that's all great. It was such a big part of like pop culture where like it's one of those songs, as soon as you hear the piano riff, it's just like, oh shit. It's one of those songs, right? The rest of the record is produced with the same exact, like every song has the same kind of arrangement. It's like piano, orchestra, drums. It's the same players throughout. It feels like I don't know. For me, the whole record feels like it's produced like a Broadway original cast recording. It's like very dry, very like kind of uncool, if I'm being honest. Like, and so what kind of I think what's rough is that it came out. 1,000 Miles came out around like Complicated, Avril Lavigne blowing up.
Yeah.
Everywhere, Michelle Branch, like I don't when was Liz Phair? Haven't heard, like maybe that's a little earlier, but
I think this was around like Liz Phair's pop side. I think this is right around when she did
the guitar.
Yeah, I think this is the same time that she did that poppy album that like a lot of people rejected pretty hard, even though it charted like crazy.
But I think that because the rest of her record was like. This song clearly very like piano driven and stuff and very like, but I think if it was like, if this record came out in like 94 and like hit hard on the adult contemporary circuit, it would have been massive. But I really think that it's just like the rest of the record is like every song is 4 minutes long. She's clearly like a fantastic pianist, but like the songs are not great. I think
I am a big Ordinary Day fan. I remember when that song.
I was like, this is the one Matt really likes. I gave it one listen. I don't know. Maybe I got to go back. It just
I remember being in high school, 2002, watching MTV2, and they're like, we got the newest one from Vanessa Carlton. And I was like, all right, here we go. And they played that song. I was like, "Girl Can't Be Stopped." This song, I really thought like we found this girl's going to be here forever. And boy, was I quickly disproven as the years went on.
I want to touch on something that Eric said that I do think is important. This definitely sounds like a theater kid album, and she definitely sounds like a theater person. And I love orchestral elements in music. Like, I'm a big fan of it, but what it does lack is a rock edge. And I think that is the charm of 1,000 Miles, is like, okay, as a one-off, as being like a song that sounds like it's from Broadway, that's cool. But for a whole album and a whole career, if you're trying to be, a lot of her songs do lack any sort of like edge to them. I mean, even Ben Folds is an inevitable comparison here.
Yeah.
And his songs always still, he'll balance the beautiful piano with like the twinkly high parts that I would say. He'll counter those with songs that are just rockin'. And, Vanessa Carlton kind of lacks that, and maybe she's not going for that.
No.
And
I would say the song that comes the closest to what I think is what Vanessa Carlton's direction always should have been is I really like what she does with Paint It Black on this, like her Rolling Stones cover, where it does it still has those elements of like the orchestra, and like, I mean, that song, that cover feels like it's straight from a Broadway musical production of Only Songs by the Rolling Stones type thing. But like, you do she gets to like gravel her voice a little bit in the back of that back half of that song. And it's like, it's like, go for that then. Go for theater kid who rocks a little bit towards the end for the rest of her stuff. Like,
I'm going to make the argument though that like, one, that was like a pleasant surprise listening to the album. I was like, oh, I wonder if this is a Stones cover. And it was. But then she does the thing that this like really grinds my gears when like people on American Idol do this, when they like fuck with the rhythm or the melody too much. And so it's like that song is really like, ma, 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 ma. It's like fucking quarter notes straight. And she keeps doing this. She keeps like jazzing up the melody, and I'm like, okay, you're really like, and that kind of speaks to my point on the record as a whole. It's like there's some cool musical ideas, but not a lot of them are serving the songs. A lot of them are like, I did this because it's cool musically, and me as the listener is like, I get that, but I don't think that it's helping the song. And so like, I don't necessarily even think it's the arrangement thing that like doesn't get me into the record. I think that like 1,000 Miles is just the good song on the record. Kind of.
I also think that it could be because I like, what I would compare Vanessa Carlton to, honestly, who's an artist that I adore, but it's not. She gives me Norah Jones vibes, right? When that Norah Jones album came out and it was just like, hey, we're just doing a jazz record with like through a modern lens. Because I think the other song, I should have told you to check this one out as well, Eric, but she did on one of those a very special Christmas albums that would come out every couple years. She did Green Sleeves. And like, I love the song Green Sleeves, but it's just her, a piano, and a jazz trumpet doing an extremely jazzy version of Green Sleeves.
She's a fantastic pianist. Like, don't get me wrong. Like that is clear throughout the record.
She did get to do guest vocals. She also did guest vocals. It's worth noting at the peak of this popularity, she hopped on a Big Yellow Taxi cover from our boys Counting Crows. Unfortunately,
was that the one that was on the Friends soundtrack?
Probably.
No?
Well, that's the Joni Mitchell did the original one that's on the Friends soundtrack.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
but I always get mixed up. I feel like there's so many versions of
There's
that
a
song.
million
though.
versions of that song.
I
It got sampled by
remember-
Janet Jackson
Yeah, no.
on Velvet Rope.
Pinhead Gunpowder did a cover of it, if you want to go real deep.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I mean, my hot take, there's two versions of this Counting Crows track, one with her and one without her. Kind of prefer the one without her, actually.
Oh.
Well, and so speaking to her vocal timbre, I'm not trying to talk shit. Like, look, straight up.
No, we're here to be honest.
1,000 Miles is cemented in pop culture as one of those songs. It's like quintessential and
It's never going away. It's been
No,
here for
and I don't
2
want
decades.
it to. I love
and it's
it.
not
And
going away.
I really, really, really do love this song. When she gets into her beltier range, she like she does this like homogenization of like Kermit the Frog and Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Where it's like she kind of gets a little bit, but then it's like, I don't know. I can't. I'm not going to really try to mimic it. I'm going to spare everyone that. But like, you can hear it for sure in the final chorus of 1,000 Miles. Something about it, that timbre just kind of grinds my gears. It's like, if you're gonna belt, just give it to me. Don't like. There's an element of like holding back or like
It's almost like a breathy belt simultaneously.
Kind of, yeah.
It's
and
weird.
I want it to be more supported.
I think with the Big Yellow Taxi one, I don't know the story behind the recording of this, but I always felt like her part in that cover was that Counting Crows had already just recorded a cover. And then
It was already done, right? So she just overdubbed on it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It sounds like she's just kind of like throwing in these like she doesn't sing a verse or anything. She's just kind of there doing like ooh bop 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 in the background and stuff. Where I'm like,
bop, bop, bop.
and I'm like, I could just do without it. Like I just would. If she was sharing the vocals, I'm sure I'd think, oh, this is amazing. But she's not playing piano on it. She's not singing lead. She's just like a glorified famous backup singer on that song, and it's so weird. But this song did lead to a lot of success for her, right? She goes and she opens for the Goo Goo Dolls, Third Eye Blind, and opening for Third Eye Blind, she befriends the lead vocalist, Stephen Jenkins, and then that friendship turns into a relation. Jinkies. And then that friendship turns into
Stevie Jinkies.
turns into a relationship, and he produces her second album. And the studio,
hold up,
the label does not like it.
Hold up. We got to talk about 1,000. We got more to talk about 1,000 Miles before you skip to our second album here.
Okay.
This song, 1,000 Miles.
I'm jumping around a ton.
Yeah. It went to number 5 on the charts, but it was the 6th biggest song of all of 2002, according to Billboard. She was Grammy nominated for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Instrumental Arrangement Accompanying Vocals. When I look at when it peaked at number 5
I don't know
May 18th,
any of these other songs above it.
It was the height of Ashanti, which Ashanti was a little bit. It was Ashanti. I mean, was even a little bit outside of my purview at the time, but Foolish from Ashanti was number 1. What's Love, Fat Joe featuring Ashanti was number 2. Number 3 was I Need a Girl Part 1 from P. Diddy featuring Usher and Loon. And number 4 was You Don't Have to Call from Usher. These are all songs that like were not in my listening rotation. So 1,000 Miles.
I don't think that there's songs. 1,000 Miles has outlasted all 4 of these songs in a huge way.
Yeah. Well, so for me, 1,000 Miles is the number 1 song because it's the only song I really know at that time. It's number 5. Blurry from Puddle of Mud is at number 6.
We let that song get to 6 on the Hot 100.
I don't get that. But number 7, I did want to make this comparison. Number 7 was All You Wanted from Michelle Branch, who I feel like Michelle Branch and Vanessa Carlton, they are the 1A and 1B of female rock stars during this era.
Yes.
But I'll give all credit to 1,000 Miles as being probably the song of the time, but Michelle Branch was who I went way deeper on the catalog album. I thought she had.
Well,
there's a reason why Michelle Branch.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's
like
there's a reason
miles, there's
like
5 songs from Michelle Branch that everybody knows.
Totally. I think if Everywhere and 1,000 Miles were the only efforts that either artist had ever put out, I think I put 1,000 Miles ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think consistency's sake, Michelle Branch is like. Yeah.
All You Want, it's a better song than Everywhere. I think Everywhere is a more famous song, but All You Wanted is really an unbelievable song.
Well, and she has like repeat hits. Like there's Breathe as well. Breathe that's the second record,
Goodbye
right? That's
to
a great
You.
song. Dude, I'm just saying there's more
Santana
consistent.
song that she did, the little bit of this.
Two of them. She did 2 of them.
She did 2
I'm feeling
Santana songs.
Michelle Branch was really awesome.
But then Michelle Branch, well, we're obviously never going to do a one-hit thunder on Michelle Branch because we're just naming all of the massive amount of hits that she had. But I think Michelle Branch, if I remember, had a weird thing where she like started dating a really controlling guy who like made her step away from music for like a decade and a half or something like that. Because she just like, she had everything and then she just disappeared and was like a stay-at-home mom for like 15 years or something, or like stay-at-home wife. And then they got divorced and then she was like back again. And I might be telling tales out of like I might not be completely right with that, but I think I remember hearing something about that where she just kind of like vanished.
Patrick Carney, right? Isn't it the guy from the Black Keys? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it.
But that Hotel Paper album from Michelle Branch, I love that thing front to back. And look, we're not here. We're doing what they talk about on the Lilith Fair documentary, Matt. We're comparing, just because they're 2 females, we're comparing them to each other or whatever. But
I think it was the comparison at the time. We're talking about what that time frame's comparison was. For
and
sure.
the only reason I brought it up is because it was like around the time, and I threw Complicated in there as well, where it was like these, female musicians and singers and songwriters that were like, but to your point, it was like, Michelle Branch and Avril Lavigne had this like rock edge and they were getting played on the same pop stations as 1,000 Miles. So I don't know if there was maybe this like carryover assumption that like, oh, the rest of this Vanessa Carlton shit is probably also like, maybe this is the outlier and it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason I kind of connected them and associate them together. Same era.
Right. Yeah. They're same era and same general style of music. And then it was around this time, Eric, you said it in passing, but we have to talk about it for a second. The song was featured, it was in 2004, in White Chicks, the Sean and Marlon Wayans movie. Terry Crews' character in the movie. It's his favorite song. And I don't think I saw that movie at the time. I think it was years and years and years later that I started seeing that clip pop up on videos.
With the heads, with his head shaking.
It's still so funny that's his favorite song. And I seriously think that funny clip has helped that song stand the test of time. That kids know that song. Everyone knows that song. And I do think that has helped.
Yeah.
Totally.
No, 100%.
Absolutely.
The only other thing I want to talk about with the charts, not a great time for debuts, but one that jumped out at me was, I forgot to write down what space it was at, but at the big debut when this topped the charts was Chad Kroeger and Josie Scott with Hero from the Spider-Man soundtrack.
Wow. I would say, too, Eric, since you and I just watched them up close recently, when this hit its peak of number 5, when, 1,000 Miles hit its peak of number 5, the number 12 song in the country was The Middle from Jimmy Eat World.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So pretty good. There's some pretty good stuff in there, sprinkled in among the R&B and rap songs we don't know and the Puddle of Muds.
I'll say, man, I saw Puddle of Mud in 2004 at. Do you remember the Rolling Rock Town Fair?
Of course, that's right down the street from where I live.
I know this. That's why I knew you would. I was. Yeah. It was who was on it that year? It was Blink-182, Trapped, Sum 41, Def Leppard, 311, Saliva, Puddle of Mud. So this is
That's a very mixed bill.
It was 03. It was 03. It was like summer of 03. And it was Man, I'm not gonna lie. I had that first Puddle of Mud record. I dug it. Josh Freese plays drums on that record. Look, sue me. There's some cool shit on that record. Blurry, not the worst song I've ever heard.
Which one is
That's
that?
not the worst song I've ever heard
Can
by
you
Puddle of
take
Mud.
it all away?
Oh, right, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Wes Scantlin, the dude
one
from Puddle of Mud, he's having a rough go of it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you hear like Puddle of Mud unironically being played out in the world, it's just like, if it's not that song, like She Fucking Hates Me, it's like, I don't know if we needed to do all this.
That wasn't even the one for me. It was the very first single. I think it was
Control.
Control. It
I
was
like the way you smack my ass.
yeah.
That's all.
The second that lyric came out, I was like, I don't know about this band.
I was at a concert last night and that was playing, and I'm in the bar, like on the and I'm like, I don't know about this. Why are we doing this?
We gotta picture this dude getting his ass smacked.
Yeah. One of the greatest.
The dude with his long hair. I'm like, I don't know about this. I'd really rather not.
One of my favorite sketches that I've ever seen on the internet was from Crack.com. And it was like Michael Schwaim and all those guys who were like killing it on Crack.com in the mid 2010s or whatever. And it's them all in a cabin playing poker. And one of them starts singing She Fucking Hates Me. And the other one's like, why is that song so familiar? And they're like having this conversation. It's like, Wes, I think we wrote that song. And he's like, no, we can't be Puddle of Mud. That's impossible. And he's like, dude, I think we're Puddle of Mud. And he like calls his mom. He's like, Mom, am I in Puddle of Mud? You knew this whole time and you never told me? Like, it's like the dumbest sketch, but it kills me. It's top, man, half our podcast now is just talking about sketches based on things that we're talking about. All right, so song's a huge hit.
Yeah.
Ordinary Day is top 40, but like hits 30. That is not, by our standards, Billboard says it has to be a top 20 hit for it to really count as a song that the radio is playing regularly. She doesn't chart with anything else.
But that music video, I was just watching the part of the Vice, they talk about the music video for 1,000 Miles.
The music video is incredible.
It's insane. Yeah, I mean, and so they actually rigged her up on a flatbed and just fucking drove her around with that piano, which is so badass. Like, good for, I don't know. I feel like now you just be like, well, we'll just green screen it.
Yeah. Eric, you know who else has been chained to a flatbed and driven around for the sake of a music video? Because I think Chris knows the answer.
MGK?
I don't know.
Bjork. Bjork has that video where she's chained on the back of a
big time sensuality. Was that
big time sensuality. I think that's the first time I've seen that particular concept.
There's a flatbed thing in that, you know, that new MGK song Cliche. When you pray for me, baby, I'm a rolling stone. Where he does like boy band dances and shit. I think it's green screen as hell, but they do like a thing on a flatbed, I think. But Vanessa Carlton, she's like, strap me in.
Yeah.
She's seatbelted to the fucking piano bench and they're like driving her around, which is so sick.
There's a potential for a tragic story shooting that music video.
But one could argue the song would have performed maybe better.
Maybe even went to number one at that point. If Vanessa Carlton died while shooting the music video.
Hey there, One Hit Thunder listeners. Are you ready to take your music to the next level? Well, get ready to rock because this episode is brought to you by DistroKid, the ultimate digital music distribution service for artists like you. With DistroKid, you can easily upload your songs or albums to online stores and streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music, reaching fans all around the globe. But that's just the beginning. DistroKid offers a ton of awesome features like Hyperfollow, which helps you promote your releases and get pre-saves on your songs all for free. But wait, there's more. The DistroKid app is now available on iOS and Android. With the app, you can manage your releases, track your streaming stats, and even withdraw your earnings, all from the palm of your hand. And for those looking to perfect their sound, check out Mixia. This powerful tool allows you to put the finishing touches on your tracks in minutes, ensuring they sound polished and professional every time. But that's not all. DistroKid has just launched a brand new feature called Instant Share, allowing you to easily share large files securely with collaborators, producers, and more. With Instant Share, you can keep your music streaming at the highest quality while making the best impression possible. So what are you waiting for? Elevate your music career today with DistroKid and unlock a world of possibilities. Possibilities that I know all about because I've been using DistroKid for years. It's seriously great. If you haven't used it before, you're going to love it. And One Hit Thunder listeners get an exclusive offer, 30% off your first year with DistroKid by signing up at distrokid.com/VIP/OneHitThunder. That's distrokid.com/VIP/OneHitThunder.
Hey, Nicole, do you have any favorite memories of the first season of Nevermind the Music?
I do. I love the time that we realized that I have perfect pitch.
You mean when we realized you don't have perfect pitch?
I don't know, dude. I'd love to see you prove me wrong.
I've got a piano right there.
This is the second season of Nevermind the Music,
where one psychologist finds out she's really good at music.
and one songwriter finds out he's really good at cognitive biases.
This season, we talk music and the mind, one iconic song at a time.
From the key changes in Metallica.
To the neurotransmitters in Mariah.
And can we finally talk about Taylor?
They're just gonna have to listen to Nevermind the Music.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
I gotta say, I was very disappointed with the whole record. I think that the term bloated kept coming up. It's just like some of these arrangements are just like, ugh, like every song it would go to the next track and I'm like, damn, this one's 4 minutes too. Like, what are we doing here? I got the sense that Ron Fair, who was the president of A&M and produced the record and did a lot of the orchestral arrangements and shit, I get the sense that like him doing the whole record was really just like a vessel for getting 1,000 Miles made, because that was the one that he heard when it was called Interlude, and he like championed it super hard. And I think he was the one that did the like a lot of the more like the like ebb and flow of the orchestral arrangement. Like when it goes from the pre into the chorus, he describes it in the Vice one as like riding a wave and like catching the next wave. And it's like, I'll be damned, like the dynamics of the strings are beautiful. And like the session players on it are crazy. The whole record, it's the same players. It's Leland Sklar on bass.
Oh, yeah.
Abe Labriel Jr., is that his name? He plays drums with Paul McCartney now. Like the players on it are crazy. And it's top of the line orchestral, this and that, and everything's, but it just feels so like almost just very disconnected in that way. It's like we had a bunch of these top of the line dudes that aren't really like connected to the source material, and it just I don't know.
That's so interesting you say that. I've talked to Chris DeMakes about this a good bit, and you as a producer and a mixer and everything would kind of probably know what I'm talking about here, but I never thought about this before. But he talked about in the 70s how every artist had these string, Paul McCartney and like everybody in the 70s, these overblown string orchestral accompaniments. Paul Simon, everybody had these, and it became so like AM radio, cheesy, no edge, adult contemporary type thing. And me, as someone who didn't really grow up with too much of that, I'm always thinking of orchestral as like these powerful, amazing, like I want every song I ever write or play, I picture the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra behind me and it's this big thing. But what you're saying is probably the problem here, is that you have these world-class musicians and players, but it's just watered down, and you're not getting the sort of energy and connection to the music that you get with a 3 or 4 piece rock band, just playing from the heart. And sometimes you got to destroy all that, the way that Nirvana came in and destroyed the cheesy ballad hair metal stuff in the late 80s, early 90s. That's what happened here, maybe.
Yeah,
I think so. And I think like, I also just think the songs are not super strong. And so like, it's hard to feel connected to like, even if you're a session guy, if you're playing on something and the song fucking rips, like you're gonna put a little bit more into it. You're gonna be like, I want that. And I'm not saying, I don't know any of these fucking guys, so I don't know, but I just feel like it's like, we're just playing what's on the page, and this is the arrangement, and like, I don't know.
So there's that side of it. I think that we need to talk about the second album and the deal.
I got
everything
a hot
she dealt
take
with.
coming up.
Well, I'm ready for the hot take, but I think that her version of what happened with the second album also sheds a little bit of light here. Like I said, she connects with the lead singer of Third Eye Blind. They start
Stevie
dating.
Jinx.
He's going to produce this record, and it's a darker album than the first album.
This is Harmonium.
Yes.
She credits Steven with like helping her stand up to record label execs who tried to influence the recording of the album. And
He's really good at being assertive, I feel.
Yeah, probably. She later said that the label was not happy with any of the decisions that they made on making that album. The lead single was White Houses, that peaked at 86 on the Hot 100, but MTV refused to play the song's music video because of lyrics referring to the first time someone has sex. And then she left the record label because they wanted her to rewrite and re-record the entire album, and she felt like the album was ready to go. Chris, you look like you're about to lose your mind. Let's hear
Chris
your hot take.
Okay. That song, it's funny when Matt told me we were going to do this, I'm like, she's not a one-hit wonder. I mean, there was Ordinary Day, there was White Houses. To me, this was a huge song. I think White Houses is her best song. That's my hot take, is I like White Houses. I was watching the music video for that and listening to it and getting chills. Like, I think that song is amazing and so personal. And part one of my hot take is that that's her best song. Part two of my hot take is we as a society are so gross for making a big deal out of someone's deeply personal lyrics that aren't even explicit. There's a lyric in this song that you could interpret as it's
What's the lyric?
It's a reference to like her first
I have it right here. It says, it's the bridge of the song. She says, "My first time, it's hard to explain. There was a rush of blood and a little bit of pain. And on a cloudy day, it's more common than you think. He was my first mistake." And it was that rush of blood lyric that everyone had an objection to.
Dude, that lyric, first of all, you're reading that lyric in your Matt Kelly voice, and I just got chills at how good of a lyric it is. That's God's honest truth, that she's like putting down this, it's her and four of her friends in a cabin. You know, these are like young people experiencing things for the first time. She's reflecting on that. I think it's a beautiful song. It's an amazing, chill-inducing song. And people are so gross that they are over-analyzing lyrics. A rush of blood could mean like your heart's beating, you're excited, you're experiencing things. I think people are picturing like, oh, you have sex and you bleed for the first time. That is so fucking gross for people to take that interpretation. Even if she meant that. Like, I
think it's a turn of phrase. I think she's actively going for a turn of phrase of, here is a thing that people say when your heart's pumping, but also acknowledging that this is a natural thing that happens after the first time you have
ultimately just
sex.
makes it a clever lyric. Like, ultimately, that's just clever writing. Like, and because the more you can leave it up to interpretation while still saying the thing you're trying to say. Yeah, it's like it
is not even an explicit lyric. It's like an amazing lyric that so many people could relate to, and it's part of life and being a young person. And she writes this amazing song, and I saw her say that part of it was she fell victim to the aftermath of the freaking Janet Jackson,
Super Bowl.
Justin. Once again, we don't want to go down this road, but Justin Timberlake escapes scot-free, performs at the Super Bowl again. Janet Jackson gets taken down for something. It is the whole thing's misogynistic. I think this song should have been way bigger.
And this is what I want to say. I don't think that Eric's wrong about anything that he says about overproduced, bloated, etc. But the more that I dug into Vanessa Carlton's story, I think that what happened is Vanessa Carlton was one type of artist. The record label heard the hit that was going to be 1,000 Miles and tried to force her to be a totally different type of artist, because she's never stopped putting out records. She's constantly getting like critically rave reviews for her albums, even though most people don't even know that she's got like 7 albums out. Like, wow. I think that she has always been one of those people who like you said, she came from ballet school and classical music. I think
she's an artist.
Yeah, she's an artist who's who the record label tried to make a pop star, and she just rejected it every step of the way after that hit.
And I will say, like, as far as the lyrical content goes, like on Be Not Nobody, it's super clear that it's like she's writing from a place that is personal, and she's writing from it's like whatever it might be. It feels like I don't know, to some extent. I think you were right. They were trying to make her into something that it wasn't necessarily.
Yeah. She was also 22. Like, who's like a top tier songwriter at 22 per se?
What's interesting,
like
for sure. Well, and I think you're at that age where it's like, I mean, like Pretty Baby, like the core, it's like they're not the best lyrics, but I can tell that like they're from a young writer.
Yeah.
That's it. I hear it all the time, Eric. I hear it on other podcasts I do. I'm sure you've experienced this. I've experienced it. You can never go back to your original when you're writing your first songs and you don't really know what you're doing whatsoever. You can never go back to that because you've learned things. You've learned how to write a song. You've learned what appeals to people, and you can't go back to those base instincts.
Almost like tainted by knowledge or experience.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's
100%.
like, I think about that a lot in the context of like, now that we are like musicians or producers, or we're like, we've seen how the sausage is made and shit. Like, you'll never be able to listen to a piece of music or to a song as an average listener, right? Like, that's the biggest asset that, like, when my wife like listens to a song, I'm like, what do you hear? What's the first thing you hear? Because all I'm listening to is how the drums sound or how this thing is out of tune, or like what this and that. And I'm like, fuck, I just want to hear it for what it is, type of thing.
My girlfriend listens to primarily lyrics, and I'm like, what? Like, she
big
can
melody guy. I gotta,
me too. And I think everyone is like maybe deep down that, like, but there's a lot of, and she's not alone. There's a lot of people that are focused on the lyrics, and that's so secondary. I mean, I don't like bad lyrics, don't get me wrong, but like I can excuse a not as great lyric if the melody and music is amazing and makes me feel something.
Yeah,
of course.
But not everyone's like
the way a subpar lyric is packaged can totally sell it.
Yeah,
100%.
If it's like, I mean, I don't know. Just there's so many examples, but it's just like could be just a nonsense
sing
thing, but it's sung with such swagger, or it's presented in such a way, or the melody that you're singing with it is undeniably so badass. Like, kind of doesn't matter.
Right.
Don't want to say it doesn't matter, but like, it's interesting though. At the end of this Vice documentary, she's going on about how she never liked the song, or like hates it now, or like. And her mom, and she's like, I'm sure there are loads of people that hate it. And her mom is in the shot too. And she's like, no, everyone loves it. And like, I do kind of feel like that's the thing. I don't know if maybe is there resentment because it kind of became this thing that
I think it might just be that it's not a representation of who she saw herself as a musician. I think it all stems back to she was kind of being packaged as a pop star. And there's probably a little bit of like hurt when like that was what happened to her, because I'll say that while doing research on Vanessa Carlton for this, I came away being like, she just seems like the coolest. Like she's
cool as hell.
She did like a thing for Tibet. She did a thing about climate change. She works with PETA on stuff. She did an entire tour where the concept of the summer tour was that people were also during the show cleaning the beaches to make it safe for the animals. Like, she played only beachside venues and worked with people to clean the beaches before the shows to make it safe for animals. Like, she's very like driven. And I want to mention 2 or 3 really quick things because I know we're running really long on this episode, which, I mean, it's a great song. It deserves to be. At one point, it said that she was unsure if she was going to continue to be a musician or if she was going to slowly transition into film score composing, which, again, I think stresses the, like, she is a classical music.
Yeah.
The most recent thing she did was that she scored Julia Stiles' movie that came out this year, Wish You Were Here, which had like a bunch of critical reviews. It's her and her husband is from the band Deer Tick. They wrote all the music for that movie. And to go back to the theater kid thing, in 2019, she debuted on Broadway as the lead in a musical written by Carole King. She is like the definition theater kid / classical music artist.
Here's what I think it is, why she might have some negative feelings towards 1,000 Miles. To a certain extent, there is a little bit of Rick Astley, whatever you want to call it. There is a little bit of it's
a very memeable song, too.
The mass appeal of that is partially that people are making fun of it a little bit. And
a little bit.
A little bit. But because it's very twinkly piano and it's making my way downtown. Dun, 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 like
and the white girls thing. It is an element of when people hear it, they're thinking of Terry Crews dancing to the car and white girls.
Right.
That's the part.
But the thing is, everyone who's making fun of it, actually, what's funny about it is we all actually like it.
Totally.
It's a little white girl sitting at a piano playing this like sort of
twinkly,
Broadway-ish type pop song, but we all kind of like it, and that
for sure.
And that's what's cool about it.
She also did something in 2018 that I think is a really smart move, and I'm going to suggest to any musicians, including any present on this recording, that this is a fantastic idea that everybody should steal and do. But when she was recording her new album, she made a promise that every month it took her to record the album, she would also record and release a cover song of a song that felt like it inspired the direction the album was going, and then was able to package all those covers as a separate EP that people could buy on top of buying the original album. Brilliant idea. Covered some really cool songs. She did Robin's Call Your Girlfriend. She did Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. She did Needle in the Hay by Elliott Smith. Like, she covered some really cool songs while doing this project. But just knowing how the internet algorithm works, I'm like, that's brilliant. Because people are way more likely to find your cover song on TikTok or Instagram if they're not familiar with you. And then be like, oh, I really like this. Oh, and they said in the front they're recording an album of original music. I kind of want to see what that original music sounds like then. Like, it's a really smart move.
That's a lot of work, but
it's a lot of work.
It's like every month we spend on the record, it's like, but then the covers are going to take you time too, and then before you know it, then you got to record covers that inspired your decision to do the covers. And there's something that you said where when we were talking about her being kind of like billed and packaged as a pop artist, when like that's kind of not really maybe the trajectory that I just saw this clip of Halsey talking on Zane Lowe's podcast, and she's like, it kind of started out really dramatic. She's like, I can't make another record, the label won't let me. But then they talk about it a little more, and she's like, they're expecting The Great Impersonator, her last full length that she put out, didn't perform as well as Manic,
Manic, I think, yeah.
Manic, the like big pop one that has Without Me on it, and her big pop smashes. But then Great Impersonator, it sold 100,000 copies first week, but it wasn't doing like big pop numbers. And she's like, but if you look at it through the lens of like me making dark alt pop music, like I'm top of the fucking game. But if you look at me in the context of Taylor Swift and Billie Eilish and this and that, like for sure I'm not succeeding, but like she's top of the genre that she's not being billed in type of thing. And I think that that's a little bit of, like I think that 1,000 Miles should have been considered more of like a crossover hit instead of straight up middle of the road pop hit, because it's not that, and she's not that.
As artists, do we always have to try to write a pop hit? Can we not just make music we love that appeals to the people that it appeals to?
Honestly, it should appeal to yourself first and foremost, and then whatever it is. And so there is this curse of like, if your first song sounds like this, then, or your first smash or whatever, then like there's an unspoken expectation to give a little bit more of the same. But the true artist types are like, fuck that, I'm going to, or if they want to do that, whatever, it's their prerogative. But like, really, you're going to find progression and like change, and the evolution of your sound is what's going to keep an artist wanting to keep creating.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it even goes back to I think I was reading about it, but like Sugar Ray, prime example.
Love
like Sugar Ray
Don't
gets
even know where
signed.
you're headed. Love it.
Yeah, Sugar Ray. The story that I've heard, and I almost texted you, Chris, to be like, you got to get Mark McGrath back in the podcast to confirm some of this information. But the story that I heard was, Sugar Ray was this band that was searching for an identity, basically. And when they got signed, it was while they were doing this new metal stuff, and that's when you get the Lemonades and Brownie album, and it's like
Floored. Is that
Floored is the next one. Brownies and Lemonade is the one that literally just has a naked porn star bent over, and it had the song Mean Machine on it. It was like the
right.
minor hit.
Mean Machine was on Road Rash on PlayStation.
Exactly.
I had that. Yeah.
So,
and so is Speed Home California, which is on Floored, I think.
Floored, which I love that song. But so they get that album doesn't do well, but the record label's like, we're going to give you one more shot at this. And the story is at that time, Mark McGrath was like, we need to go harder. Like we're playing too close to the middle. We need to be heavier and louder. And the rest of the band was like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't even like playing.
I don't know,
stuff.
dude. I just want to fly. And he's that's it.
apparently it got so heated that he stormed out and effectively quit the band. Whoa. And the band in the studio started recording this like reggae jam session that became Fly.
Sick.
And they sent it to him and he's like, this is shit. No one's going to like this. And they're like, really listen to it, dude. Think about it. And that's when he started writing the lyrics to it. And that's when he was like, oh, these dudes are right. This is the direction we need to go in. And that's why, like, that's his explanation for, like, people think that when they listen to Floored, Fly became the hit and then we just completely changed our sound. But it was way more that we were, like, kind of all sick of doing that type of music, and Fly was what we want it to do. And that was the Hail Mary to be like, will this work? If this works, then let's just keep doing this because this is more fun than what we're currently doing.
Is Floored a David Kahn record?
I think it is. But Chris, I know it's been almost an hour, but do you have any games for us?
Oh, do you guys want to play a game? I thought maybe you wouldn't want to play a game. I have a game if you guys want to play
a game.
I'll play a game.
So how do you want to buzz in if you know the answer?
Eric can be I need you and I'll be I miss you.
Okay. That's your buzzer. You know the rules. If you get it without the multiple choice, it's 2 points. If you guys agree that you need the multiple choice, it would get 1 point if you got it. But if you try to answer it without the multiple choice and you miss it, you're going to get -1. So that's the risk of trying to answer without the multiple choice.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
All right. These are all somewhat related to either Vanessa Carlton or the time that this song was popular.
All right.
On August 16th, 1980, the day that Vanessa Carlton was born, keyboardist Jools Holland quit what band to pursue a solo career?
Oh, man. The late night host, Jools Holland?
Yes.
I have no idea.
All right. Multiple choice.
A, Squeeze. B, The Jam. C, The Sisters of Mercy. Or D, The Kinks.
I need you.
Okay.
I'm going to go with C, Sisters of Mercy.
That is incorrect.
I was going to guess B, The Jam.
That is also incorrect. It is actually A, Squeeze.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
We did an episode on Squeeze, and I still don't remember Jools Holland being in there.
Was he on the hit?
I don't know. If it was 1980, he may have left just before Tempt It.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Tempt It's 81.
Okay.
Well,
that's a question for another time. All right,
sounds
no
like
score.
He was holding them back.
On May 11th of 2002, this is around the time that 1,000 Miles hit its peak, this Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, based on poetry by T.S. Eliot, closed at the New London Theatre in the West End of London after 8,949 performances.
Wait, repeat that question real quick, but I think I know this.
On May 11th, 2002, this Andrew Lloyd Webber musical based on...
I Need You.
Go ahead.
That's Cats.
You got it. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn. All right.
I remembered that Cats was based on poetry. I couldn't remember. I like missed what year it was, and I'm like, wait, it closed in my lifetime, so let me hear that year again.
All right.
Crazy.
Matt jumps out to a 2-0 lead with 5 questions to go. On May 15th of 2002, this Michael Moore documentary premiered at the Cannes Film Festival.
I need you.
Eric Taft.
Fahrenheit 9/11.
That is incorrect.
Bowling for Columbine.
That is correct.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
George Bush wasn't in office yet by 2002. We were still, or what? No, he was.
Yes, he was.
Sorry.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. Sorry.
I was surprised that Bowling for Columbine came out so long after the Columbine shootings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Fahrenheit 9/11, it would make sense. I see your reasoning because it was a year.
2002. Yeah, I don't know.
No, it was 2004 for Fahrenheit 9/11.
I was in 5th grade when 9/11 happened, so I listen to the radio a lot, but like the more like pop culture stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so Matt jumps out to a 4-1 lead.
Sick, dude. Coming in strong.
On May 16th of 2002.
Lagwagon Day.
Yeah, true. Which Star Wars movie opened in theaters?
I Need You.
Go.
Is it not The Phantom Menace?
That is incorrect.
Was it
I Need You.
Go
Damn
ahead,
it.
Matt.
I'm pretty sure. I'm going to say Attack of the Clones.
You got it.
Yes.
For sure. Phantom Menace was what, 99?
99. There's a book that I have somewhere over on this shelf to my left that's literally called 1999, The Greatest Year of Film.
And Phantom Menace is on it?
Phantom Menace it's more just like that summer. If you look at the movies that came out in the summer of 1999, it is like every single one of these movies was massive.
Yeah.
It's literally like The Phantom Menace, the first American Pie movie, The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, The Matrix. Just every single film was a blockbuster that summer.
Attack of the Clones is the only one that I haven't seen. I saw
It's
Revenge
the worst
of the
one,
Sith
so you're doing great.
twice. Well, see, that's what I heard.
Yeah. It still is. It's still the worst one.
Didn't even come out as far as I'm concerned.
Matt, you are ahead by a score of 6 to -2.
You don't have to tell the score. It's fine.
He loves embarrassing our guests. He's not even that smart about this stuff. He's just lucky. All right.
I'm just going out. I'm hedging
Blaze
on my
of
bets.
glory over there.
Yeah, no multiple choice. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let it fly.
Eric's like, what's the lowest score anyone's ever had?
Yeah. I'm going for it. I'm coming for you.
Question 5. 1,000 Miles famously plays during the final scene of what surreal 2023 Ari Aster film?
I Need You.
Go ahead.
Was that Beau is Afraid?
You got it. Wow,
Yeah.
man. As far as Ari Aster films go, that was my least favorite.
Is that the Joaquin Phoenix one?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't love that one.
It's so long. It's 3 hours long, and
it's
it
like
is just
3 hours.
But then you get 1,000 miles at the end. It's the payoff.
It's a great payoff. It feels like you've walked 1,000 miles by the time you get to that.
Yes. The score is now 8 to -2.
What did we talk about? I thought you don't have to.
2 questions left.
All right, let's do it.
What legendary guitarist played acoustic guitar on White Houses?
That I don't know.
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice. A. Slash. B. Keith Richards. C. The Edge. Or D. Lindsey Buckingham.
It'll just be a guess. I have no idea.
You want to go for it?
Sure. I'm gonna guess Lindsey Buckingham.
You got it. You got a point, Eric.
I was
just one. I was -1 type.
Yes.
I was between that and The Edge, and the only reason was because I didn't know who played guitar, but I knew that on that same album she covers Where the Streets Have No Name by U2, so I thought, maybe that. Or because she kept referring to the album as similar to a Fleetwood Mac album. So it's like, Maybe it's one of those two from process of elimination. But I'm glad we're getting you out of the hole. Let's see if we can get you to 0.
We could get him all the way out of the hole here, because on this final question, if you can get it, this includes you too, Matt.
9 points.
If you can get it without the multiple choice, it is worth 9 points.
Is that actually, or are you just saying that so I can tie it?
No, that's actual. That's actual.
What day and year did Matt and Eric release their iconic cover of 1,000 Miles on their YouTube channel?
I only know the month and the year. I don't know the day.
This is your final question.
Oh, God.
1,000 Miles was the 6th biggest song of 2002.
Oh, no.
What was number 1?
If you get it wrong, it's still just -1, right? It
That's
doesn't
right.
become -9.
That's right. But if you missed it, and Eric got it, then he would win, not just tie.
I know. Juice ain't worth the squeeze over here, so I'm gonna let Eric go for a Hail Mary if he wants.
Let's see. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
That's why it was going to be worth 9.
Yeah. I'm like,
it could be anything. It could be anything. And I'm going to be surprised by the answer anyway.
Artists, but all right. Multiple choice. You giving up the 9 points for the multiple choice?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right.
A, How You Remind Me by Nickelback. B, Hot in Here by Nelly. C, Wherever You Will Go by The Calling. Or D, Complicated by Avril Lavigne.
Wow. None of those would be songs that I would project as none of those 4 options were even in the ballpark of what I thought might. I was thinking of what Britney Spears song came out in 2002.
I know, I was trying to think of a Britney Spears song too. I Need You.
Go ahead.
I'm going to guess. Wait, what was the second option that you said? After
Hot in
Nickelback?
Here by Nelly was the second option.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that.
That's incorrect.
All right, then I'm going to go with what I thought was the only other option besides Hot in Here. Is it Complicated by Avril Lavigne?
That's also incorrect.
Is it How You Remind Me?
Yep. The number 1 song of 2002 was Nickelback, How You Remind Me.
You said Nickelback, How You Remind Me, and immediately you probably could have seen me mouth, well, it's not that. That was the least likely of the 4 to me. I was like, well, it's not Nickelback. All right.
All right, Matt won. It's okay. You gave it your best there, Eric. Before we decide on Thunder or Blunder here, I do want to say, I told Matt this beforehand. I say this all the time. You're a person in my life, a friend who is so humble about all the cool shit you do. There's a handful of people in my life that are like this. You do lots of cool shit. Between playing in bands, Great Heights Band, Party Like It, your production work, your mixing, engineering, everything you do, you're constantly doing cool shit, and yet you're so modest and humble about it that no one, if they met you, would know that. And I mean that in a nice way.
That's very kind of you. That's largely the imposter syndrome, where I'm just like, nah. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate that wholeheartedly. I'm so grateful to be on here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming back on. So we'll start with you, Eric. Thunder or blunder when it comes to Vanessa Carlton? Or Hinder, or the lower Hinder or Greenwood? I don't think
Hinder or Seether?
She's not a Hinder or Greenwood. We know that.
I don't think so. I think we can take them off the table.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I come on, I feel like I say blunder, and I feel like I feel like I sound like a hater. But I'm going to put it, I love... This is like in the context of the rest of the catalog.
Sure,
right?
yeah, their whole career.
1,000 Miles, 100% love this song. Such a jam, such a classic. Rest of the catalog kind of lost on me. I listened to White Houses for the first time yesterday. I'd never heard it before.
Wow.
I know. But see, that's the thing. It's like I was much younger, so I was only hearing the shit that was like hitting the.
You weren't familiar with the song that peaked at 86 on the Billboard Hot 100? How dare you?
Can't say that I was. When you were listening, the famous guitar players that played on it, I was like, I don't hear Stephen Jenkins.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go blunder only because for all the if you listen to the episode, you know my reasons. Okay. It's nothing but love, but.
Yeah, not your thing.
Yeah.
Matt?
Well, it's not going to be a certified thunder, but it's certainly not going to be a certified blunder either because, I mean, I love this whole album. I like the follow-up album. I'm going thunder on this one. I think that this is great. I love the song Ordinary Day. I've talked to many people about how I think I prefer Ordinary Day now, which is a hot take for sure. I love the Painted Black cover. I love what she did with Green Sleeves. I love White Houses. I think that Vanessa Carlton is definitely an artist that people should check out. Don't go into it expecting to hear another 1,000 Miles for sure, but I think just go into it expecting that you're going to hear a pretty talented piano player do some amazing artsy music. So I'm going to go thunder on this.
Well, and I hate to be negative in
no. You went with blunder. You made your bed.
I'm standing by it, but I'm adding a fat asterisk right to it. As an artist myself, I hate to poo-poo what's very clearly an artist making the songs that she wants to make. Labels be damned, A&R be damned. It definitely, I think, hurt her career, especially when it comes to the second record. It sounds like, but you got to give props for the artists sticking to their guns and just being this is what I fucking want to make. It's just not for me.
I think it hurts her career, but I don't think that she cares.
Cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Punk as fuck.
She's an artist.
Yeah.
And that something I didn't bring up is when she was making that second album, she said that she was basically trying to make her Sgt. Pepper's. When she's making her second album, that's why she had all these additional musicians, all this crazy stuff. Matt, an episode we did both of Krista Makes and this, Jason Faulkner, who played in Jellyfish, was one of the co-producers of that Harmonian album. She was really going for it. And, I like songs here and there. I can't say that I'm super into it, but I got to go hard thunder. I'm really surprised we're not going to be sending her a certificate of certified thunder, to be honest.
I know, she lives so close.
Man, you can hand deliver it to her. Yeah. I guess I gotta just apologize, I guess.
No, you're speaking your truth, and I think that's cool. I don't think Vanessa will listen to this episode and be like, that Eric Taft, he's a dick. I mean, you literally you dove into her catalog. You're saying this stuff from a learned place about her career, and just because it doesn't speak to you doesn't mean it's not great.
Yeah, true.
I say thunder on Vanessa Carlton, and I'm surprised she's a one-hit wonder at all.
Windows close and doors will open. A chapter jumps from a broken mirror. Some pieces disappear. What's up will fuel the uncertain years. You look back on.
This has been One Hit Thunder. One Hit Thunder is hosted by Chris Afios of the band Punchline and produced by Matt Kelly of Geekscape.net. Underneath me, you're hearing Whichever Way the Wind Blows off the Punchline album Somewhere to Land. Go to punchlinemusic.com for music, merch, and where the band is playing next. Our podcast is on Patreon, so find us at patreon.com/OHT podcast for early access to our episodes, bonus conversations, and a chance to vote on a future song for us to cover. Also, while you're at it, how about you buy a One Hit Thunder t-shirt from our merch store at onehitthunder.dashery.com. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to us on any podcasting app, and tune in next week for more One Hit Thunder.
But it feels so far away when we can't remember yesterday. But I'm never gonna let you down. I was foolish not to see I found you already long ago, but you don't know till.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.